Okay, for question number one, if you notice they want me to put them in order from greatest to least. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my paper, create a T-chart like this. On the left side we have the original values, on the right side we're gonna change them to decimals, basically like money. So we have paper one became 0.20, paper two is 35 out of 30, paper three 110%, paper four would be the 2/3. So once I transfer with the computer in front of the, like you're basically taking the test in front of a computer, so you're gonna transfer that information to your paper. Now I'm gonna check whichever is already as a decimal or as money, I'm gonna just transfer it this way. So 0.20 is already decimal, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of it. Okay? Now this guy's a fraction, this guy's a percent, this guy's a fraction. So probably the easiest one to change to decimal would be the percent. How do I change a percent to decimal? I would basically put 110% here, put your decimal at the end always, and I'm gonna move twice to the left so it can become a decimal. So I'm gonna go twice to the left, from percent to decimal, I'm gonna go twice to the left, so my decimal becomes $1.10, $1.10, 1.10. Once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and do the next easy one, will probably be this guy, 2/3. That's one of our cards. You should remember 0.66. It's a repeater. If you do not remember, you can always do bottom out, and that will take care of that problem. Now this guy, I don't have a choice. I'm gonna go ahead and bottom out this one. 35 divided by 30. Your decimal at the end. So I'm changing fraction to decimal by doing bottom out. The bottom is the one outside. So I don't have enough. Times 1 becomes 30. Okay, so we have a remainder of 5. When you have a remainder, like I mentioned before, you just drop the 0. Now we have a 50. 30 times 1 will give me 50. 30 times 1 will give me 50. We have a 20 remainder, so guess what? I'm going to add a 0 again. We have 200 now. Now 30 times what gives me 200? Well, that one I'm not sure, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the side. And I'm going to kind of take a guess. Let's say you start with 5, that's okay. You're going to start with 5. That would be 150. I think that's too low, so you're going to try 6. That would be 180. That's a little bit better. I'll just try 7 just in case. And we have 210. So that's too high. So the best one would be 180. So 30 times 6 is 180. 0, this becomes 10, 20. So I can already see that it's going to be 200 again. So if it's going to be 200 again, it's going to be a repeater. So that this guy's going to repeat, basically. Since I only want money, I only want to worry about $1.16. Since this number is 5 or higher, I'm going to add one more, so it's really $1.17. So, again, if you already have a decimal, you just transfer it over. Make sure you add a 0. If it's not money, you want to make them like money 20 cents, $1.17, $1.10, 66 cents. If it's a fraction, you want to change it to decimal, it's going to be bottom out, the way I just did it here. If it's a percent, change to decimal, it's twice to the left, the way I did it on this part here. Once you have that information, you don't need the computer right now at that moment, and you need to now create a number line. So I'm going to create a number line for you so you can see what to do with that number line. So right here, I'm going to draw a number line. So I'm going to draw a number line right there. And then with this number line, I notice that all these numbers are positive numbers, so I really do not need nothing to the left. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 0 at the very further to the left because I do not need negative numbers. There's only positives. Now, this is pretty easy at this moment because you're just going to start counting from 0. So I notice that there's 20 cents, there's $1.17, $1.10, 66 cents. So of course the 20 cents would be the first one that would come out on the number line. If I start from 0, it will be 20 cents. The original number I'm going to put on top. Since it was the same thing, I'll just put the same thing. I'm getting this from the table. Now, after 20 cents, if I start counting 0 or 20 cents, the next one that would pop out would be 66 cents. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little mark and call it 66 cents. Now, this guy was really 2/3. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2/3 on top. It's important that you put the original. So when we put them in order, we're going to put the original ones. After 66 cents, I'm going to put a check there. I'm going to put $1.10. $1.10. Okay, that's the next number. And we have 110% in that case. After $1.10, finally we have $1.17. And that would be 35 out of 30. Okay. Once you place all your numbers in the number line, I want to remind you that this here, this symbol here, you darken it in and you can see the letter L. That will remind you that this is the less than symbol. So this is the less than